Mike's in the court, yeah, we got that full grip. Driving through the lane, watch them do that quick flip. We got the teamwork, making all the nets pop. Hoops like a job, and we punch in that clock. Bounce past alley-oop, yeah, we set the trend. Crossing over defenders to the very end.
Yeah, you know what time it is. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, here we are. Let's talk about it. Me, Mike Dalton.
AD, Aaron, man, you can call me whatever, man. I can still dunk too. So if that's the myth right there, I can still do that too.
I can verify that the video is legit.
I got a lot of kids on my my AAU teams right now. They're questioning it. I'm like, man, I'll show you guys. I'll show you guys. So when they see this, they're gonna. There's no way. There's no way.
That's good, man. All right, so let's jump right into it. Let's jump right into the NBA playoffs. Is still going right now. Last night, New York went up on Indiana. They up 3-2. What you got to say about it?
I want that to happen. I want New York City to have some momentum and do their thing. You know what I mean? I want that to happen. Mm-hmm. I might be the only one in the world that believes this right now. I'm not sold on Jaylen Brunson. I'm not sold. I'm not sold on him yet. But he is showing me the grittiness of what he thinks he's about and the mentality and stuff. So I'm fine with that. But
what is it about him? What is it about him? Because I had my criticism of him when he was in Dallas. I never feared him as being a player that was a threat going up against the Golden State Warriors. I mean, yeah, he had his nights, but I must admit, I've been watching him, and every time that I doubt him, this dude just puts the Knicks on his back and gets the job done. Like, for instance, last night, he dropped another 40-piece. Mm. In New York team history, only Bernard King stands in front of him with 7 of them. Brunson's got 4 of them.
That's true.
So he drops a 40 spot. That's huge. And that's inside true. Of the Garden. But the one takeaway I take from this is that neither team has won on the road. So does that mean that we're going to have a game 7, or do you trust Indiana going back home for game 6?
Indiana goes home for game 6 and gets it done. And then we go to game 7. So that's a game 7 series.
Okay. It's going to be a game 7 series.
That's my prediction on that for sure. That's a game 7 series.
And why?
Now, if Jaylen Brunson gets it done in game 6, I'll say he's better than Kyle Lowry.
Oh, okay. So do you want to enlighten us what you had to say, how you view Jaylen Brunson?
Jaylen Brunson right now to me is a updated Kyle Lowry.
Okay.
He's if Kyle Lowry needed to score, then that's Jaylen Brunson right now. I don't see him being anything. Now he's getting they're saying, oh, he's like Dwayne Wade and stuff like that. You got ESPN and all these guys saying he's Dwayne Wade and stuff. But
he's putting the numbers up.
We seen numbers from Russell Westbrook. We see numbers like that happen over a year or two. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? This is the first time in the first year I've actually noticed, okay, let me criticize this guy. Let me see what this guy's game is about. This is the first time. This whole time he's been on Dallas, he was non-existent to me. He didn't show me nothing.
Do you think it's because now he's in New York, he's on a bigger stage, he's carrying the team? We got to give him credit.
He's carrying the team right now, and I say he'll give me – right now he has 1 stripe. If there was 3 stripes to earn, he got 1 stripe. If he gets game 6, he'll get that 2nd stripe from me for sure. I'll give him that stripe, but I don't know. I feel like there's me and there's a few other people that's just not sold on him yet. I ain't sold on the facade.
I think the NBA would love for this to go 7 games so we can have game 7 in New York in the Garden.
I think it's gonna go game 7. Yeah.
Okay.
That's true. Yeah.
So it was another game last night in between the playoff games, both the NBA games. We had Caitlyn Clark debut, her first official WNBA game. What are your thoughts about Caitlyn? I know you've been telling me about Caitlyn before she had even blew up on the college scene, but I really got onto her, started watching her last year, and I can say players like Caitlyn Clark, you put them in a special bracket. What she is doing for the WNBA right now, players like that don't come along. She's a game changer. You know, they getting chartered flights now for the first time. There's sellouts going on. Now, I'm actually looking forward to the Warriors' new WNBA team, the Valkyries. And that means Caitlyn Clark will be coming to the Chase Center, which is awesome. What do you think?
I think she's definitely a game changer. She's like an icon when it comes to the WNBA side of things, and it's making more money. She is the Curry of the WNBA. She's the Steph. But like Jeff Teague, I saw Jeff Teague say something the other day, and he's talking about, if the WNBA is smart, they gotta let her get off. They gotta let her get off for it to keep getting sales, because if she's just getting shut down, then it's gonna look like, okay, the hype is over. And I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all, because what you're doing is you're putting a target on your back regardless. And so people want to see the big target either get knocked off or make it and just dominate the game. So the ticket's gonna sell no matter what. I think, it's gonna stay hyped. And her coming to the Valkyries, I think that's what they're called, the Valkyries. I think that can happen over a couple years. I don't think it's gonna happen the first year.
You mean, no, I'm saying that's the Warriors, the Golden State Warriors' new WNBA team.
Yeah, I think they're like the Valkyries or something.
Next year they'll have a pick in the draft. So that's when they're supposed to start up. However, because they're supposed to work it. But
the pick in the draft, this is my prediction on the pick in the draft. Yeah. Do they get the first pick in the draft?
Normally expansion teams do. Normally expansion teams get the first pick, don't they? I'd have to check that. But I think it's great. She will have a target on her back, because if I'm a player and she's coming in the league and she's getting all the hype, you coming after her. It was no different for Michael Jordan. It was no different for Kobe, anybody. There's these veterans. It's like, this ain't college.
Yeah. And that's why I think that's why her game last night, when they said, oh, I forgot other girl's name. Now I'm starting to notice the players that she's playing against.
Right.
So I caught her. I got to catch her name again, but they said she shut her down the first half, she only had 7. And they show like highlights of her getting shut down.
And she picked her.
Picking her and stuff. And then, she ended up with, I think, 20?
Yeah.
So the second half, she dropped a couple numbers, but they got blown out. They lost and stuff.
She's got to adjust.
Yeah, she's adjusting. And I think it's all good for the league no matter what. Her getting shut off, her facing like the Sabrinas of the league and the aces and stuff like that. That's a good stuff. Now, for that first pick for the Golden State Warriors' new WNBA team, right? The Valkyries. I say Juju comes over.
Juju would be nice.
I think Juju's a big piece. And she's like a midi. She's like she gives me like a Paul George type of feel to her game. Like, it's very Paul George's.
And she also trains with your trainer, your friend. So
Coach Phil. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be great for her to that would be awesome if she decided to come out and they do hold that pick, to have a player of that status, because she's killing it in college as well.
She's nuts. You think she'll leave?
I don't know. We never know. There's many different reasons why players leave.
It's like Caitlyn could have stayed.
The bag is waiting.
So instead of that NIL bag, I felt like she was getting the bag regardless, but how these deals. But I think the market is growing towards the WNBA.
Well, what else? She had nothing. Yeah, I think it's great for the NBA. She gave the NBA that jolt that gave the WNBA that jolt to where it just put it on another level and brought more attention. Let's look at it. The women's NCAA championship game, right? That they outdrew the men's. So what does that say? What does that say?
I can name 7 to 5 WNBA players off the top of my dome than I have a harder time naming the NCAA, the men's league, the college players. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's just harder. It's harder because they're just not making the noise like how the WNBA is doing until they get to the league. Yeah. So, well, it's cool. There's a couple players in there, but still.
Yeah, it should be an exciting season. So then
I think so.
Yeah. So then last night the Joker game. He put on a
They can't stop him.
masterpiece.
They can't stop him.
He put on a masterpiece. So I want to ask you this question. Denver goes, when they was down 0-2, they were down 0-2. Everybody was burying them. Ant-Man this, Ant-Man that. I was one of them. I mean, but now Denver comes home and really smacked them around in game 4 as well. So my question is, how much of it is Minnesota, or how much of it was contributed just to the lack of play based on the Denver Nuggets in the first game?
It was Denver. It was Denver. It shows that it was Denver in the first 2 games. Like Minnesota, because if we're thinking about, he just in game, because that was game 4. Game 3, he just dropped 43 again. Right? Was it? No, the first 2 games. It was game 4. Game 4, he dropped 43.
Yeah, the last game. And then last night, you talking about Ant-Man?
Ant-Man dropped 43.
And then he had 18 last night. So,
yeah.
But
it's like,
how much of that Mike Conley, how much of that by Mike Conley not playing last night because he has a sore Achilles, which when I was watching the last game in Minnesota, Denver was smacking them around. That game was put away. And the Denver coaches didn't pull they starters and everybody. Like, I don't know, me and you was actually having this discussion. You know how it can be sometimes as coaches. You've coached, I've coached. Sometimes, I'm going to leave my players out there. I want them to whatever. But what was the cost of that? Mike Conley wound up kind of getting injured. Now he has a sore Achilles. You need him. He didn't get to play last game. He didn't play. So now that's coming back to bite you. But the Joker, man, I mean, the dude is just putting a masterpiece together, What do you think Shaq thinks about that?
It's almost Shaq hater. Shaq being a hater right now. But at the end of the day, it's almost like this dude wanted it looks like he's bored when he's playing the game, or he's bored like he doesn't really like NBA like that. Like he doesn't like basketball like that.
He had bounce last night.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, it's almost like if we're talking Joker in the Joker's series, the Joker's game, he was like, oh, they won the first 2. Great. Gives me some adrenaline finally.
Right.
Let me go crazy now. Let me really show you. What's his name? What's the soft pillow guy that's guarding him right now? What's his name?
Which one you talking about?
Man.
You got Towns.
Yeah, I know Towns.
Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, Gobert. Like, dude.
The Frenchman.
Soft. And he makes the most like irresponsible plays. Like his plays is like, why are you doing? I would be staring at him like, bro, why are you just do that?
Yeah.
And then he's talking about, I got him. Who you got? Because last time I checked, Jokic got 47 when you said you got him. He had 47.
Well, it doesn't matter if they put Anthony Towns on it. It doesn't matter if they put Gobert. He's running through them. And
it doesn't matter.
Minnesota had the 6th man of the year. Ever since he got that award back in Denver, where's he been?
He doesn't care, though. That's the problem. Like, he cares enough to be like, okay, my team cares, so I guess I'll play hard. Like, that's why, and that's another reason why, like, there's certain NBA legends and there's certain NBA viewers that don't like Jokic's mentality, because Jokic's mentality is like, oh, we're going to get the job done. This is work, which there's players out there, this is my passion.
Yeah.
I love this thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they would do anything to get that MVP award. So, I mean, in all actuality, I want Minnesota to win. I want Anthony Edwards to go crazy and to kill them. I was hoping he was going to, not show his human side. But now it's like, okay, damn, what, I got to go for 60? Your big man's ain't doing nothing for you. The big man's got to get the stops for y'all to win.
Well, it'll be interesting to see this next game. I mean, I want to see, Anthony Edwards, but especially, everybody be paying attention to whether Mike Conley is going to play. And then Anthony Towns, I had to admit, he's been banged. He was kind of banged up last night too. There was some times where I was seeing him. So I'm gonna let him off the hook. But it's the playoffs. It is what it is. Every team goes through with it. Now, the one good thing that they got, the same situation as Indiana, you get to go home to stay alive. So what you gonna do?
Yeah, you get to go home.
What you gonna do?
But crazy. What? I got this one question. Here's the question. Do you think, since you got the 90s, you got the old school game, you watched a lot of it, is Shaq better than Jokic? Would Shaq dominate Jokic in the 7-game series? Not better than. We know he's the most
I would have to. I mean, Shaq is a special player. Jokic is a special player. It's hard to say. I know Jokic. I know. I can say this. Jokic would make him work.
Jokic is making him work because Jokic
the dude is strong.
Jokic is bringing him out to the 3-point line.
And he's running through whoever he wants to run through.
I don't think he's running through Shaq, though. Shaq's blocking
now, he ain't run through him, but I say he can bang with him. I say I think he's that strong, but we'll never know.
Right.
We'll never know.
Right.
And, that was the era, the 80s, the 90s, or whatever. I mean, I've been watching it, seen a lot of big men come through. I remember Sabonis that played for the Portland Trail Blazers. He was a load that Shaq had to deal with, a younger Shaq.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and he was a load. So, I mean, you never know. But, I mean, Shaq is special. I ain't going to take nothing away from him, man. He's the diesel.
Yeah.
Ain't going to take nothing away from him. But it would be interesting to see. Right now, there's no big man in the league, well, besides Embiid, that's going to deal with Jokic. That's it. But, I mean, everybody else in the West, he running through.
AD who? He got to go. They got to go.
I think we all good here today. It's been good talking to you. Hopefully, when we come back to this, after this next set of games, it's going to be real interesting to see who's going to get the job done at home, and we'll go from there.
Anthony Edwards is going to get at least one more game. He'll get one more win.
So you bet the sports house. You bet the sports house on it then.
The over, not the under.
The over, not the under?
The over, not the under.
All right. Good show, man. Talk to you later. Peace.